Now, I'm thinking to do something special, fun about this video because the reason why I'm doing this is because there have been nothing new drop about villainous or any update, new trailers, or even the first spin-off not yet dropped the first episode. Possibly something will drop in this year, and yet we're still waiting. But because of this, I decided why not do another video of villainous, specifically sort of breaking down of description and the art of the keychains of villainous from the last time they dropped of the merch, just to breaking down just for fun and just sort of interpret it. This was sort of a good idea to use that sort of design for that character. Does it work, does it not work, just to sort of have fun with the idea. You also do or see something to talk about villainous, at least for a little while till the new update or episode will drop. Now, before I get started, my name is Recho. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, through reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, or sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. If you do, thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I am getting close thanks to all people who like, comment, and share. Now let's break down of this sort of keychains. It feels the right representative of the characters. Now let's get started. Now, some of you are sort of wondering where this keychains come from. It's from villainous, but more specifically, Sanchez Pan Khan. They actually sold it there for a little while, and they are still selling it in their own website. But I think that sort of thing is done. But other than that, I want to sort of start with at least with a Black Hat first, and we dump the other 6 keychains after that. Now, Black Hat itself is sort of a very interesting design. Now, specifically what he's wearing is sort of a conductor sort of uniform, control all music and instruments in sort of a band or a choir. But yet his design really stands out as sort of the maestro, the one who have master of everything and the one who controlling everything behind the scenes. But I love it. His sort of tuxedo, his hat has this sort of very interesting weird coloring, because usually Black Hat always come out with black, red, or maybe a little green, but although that usually that's his main color. But in this case, decided to switch it up to just black and white, a normal tuxedo and a normal hat, and that is sort of interesting because it really stands out to be different, but yet you understand what he supposed to be, the man who controls everything behind the scenes. If it's his own kind of music sheet, if I remember, that's how you're supposed to call it, that sort of beats you have to follow by the music. Yeah, even that seems something about part of him, that sort of death, sort of danger, that sort of he's still in control and dangerous. Yeah, I really like that sort of design. It really pops for the character. I don't know you, how you felt about this design. You think you should be approved, or you think this is perfect what it's trying to actually do? Now, the next character I want to talk about is J-Lo on keychain. That is a very simple chibi design who kept the original design in coloring, but except for one thing, she used her hands as sort of a sort of harp, that sort of angel sort of trying to control the music, but sort of still very naive. And I feel it's a perfect instrument to describe J-Lo, that she's sort of sweet, kind, but maybe not realize the role is cruel enough to ruin her life, but yet she will not give up. That itself a very good interesting to describe J-Lo. It just sort of nails that sort of naivety but honest good person she really is, who believe being a hero even that she work in peace. That be sort of kind of questionable if she is the right person to work with them, because how kind and sweet she really is. But once more, that's sort of what I interpreted, especially how flexible she really is, and her legs sort of stretched out to convince you she is sort of rubbery stretchy. If some of you are curious what is J-Lo made of, Jello, in other words, that's sort of the idea of J-Lo. That's her name, that's what how you best describe her. But yet I feel that's sort of good for it. It's just feel a good design to describe her emotions, her personalities, and willing to bend even backwards for justice, because that's her thing. She just want to be a true hero, not a psychic. At least that's what I interpret of this design. I don't know you, what's your interpretation of this design? You think it works or not? Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about the next design. Now let's talk about dementia, her design and her keychain. You have to say she's sort of just cheapified, but out of two things sort of best describe dementia. Her facial features that sort of eye glaring. She sort of have that crazy eyes that she would be scared of, but yet she having fun with the situation, especially the instrument she is sort of holding to help this sort of kind of band that she has a sort of guitar, that sort of rock king or rock queen in this case, controlling and destroying everything around her because that's sort of how violent and sort of unnatural she really is. This simple design nails the personality of dementia, that you don't know if she's just having fun or she's just sort of insane. Especially some people point out that the design of the guitar is part of the perfect kind of reference of a woman's body, that just sort of complicated how complicated they are and dangerous they are if they choose to go that direction. And I think that's sort of the perfect design for dementia in perfect instrument, because it's the best way to describe her. Almost wild and beast that you can't control, but yet you kind of amused or attracted to her because at the very end she's still kind of gorgeous, but yet you don't know how to react. And I think it's the best way to design her, this type of character. Okay, what is your opinion of this design? Now our next character will be Liminato, and her design is sort of kind of interesting and fun because the very end is sort of in the drums downwards, and I think that's the best instrument to kind of contradict her own personality, because she has three eyes, three instruments, but the drums always kind of steals the whole show every time they have their own solo. Because they are basically master in their own domain. In the best way to describe Minato, because at the very end she always attempted to almost stand out, but she never has the luck or opportunity to do it. When she has, she give it 110%, and yet that makes super sense to Minato using the drums, always standing out, always have the number 3, and also she's just completely wild and unpredictable, similar to the dementia, but yet so different because she's actually has a conscious that she willing to restrain herself when she needs to. When she needs to go wild, she is going wild because she is mastering her domain, and that I feel is the best representative of the drums from Minato. They're sort of fun going, but yet she is sort of semi-serious, but when she needs to, and that's just perfect for her. I don't know, you feel that's a perfect kind of interesting instrument she to be used at. Now her design is cheapified, it's the same colors, nothing really changed, just with the drums. But other than that, it's still very good kind of designs to represent Minato. Now, what's your opinion of this design? You feel it fits or not? Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about Miss Seat, that the only thing she represents of her keychain is sort of the microphone, and that itself makes perfect sense from Miss Seat. Usually people who sing are beautiful, kind, and sweet, but sort of mythology, like women who actually can sing, can control everyone, specifically more guys than women, but they usually depends whether mythology you go into to understand sort of people who control people by music. And yet that is a perfect representative of Miss Seat, someone who is kind but yet like to twist the situation, make it everything about her, but yet drag people their own death or doom or under her control, just using two things: her beauty, her sort of cookiness, and her music, or in this case her sort of scent. If you know her abilities, she controls people using her sort of perfume. Something about her own scent controls people, but instead of using her scent, use her microphone to control people and destroy them or manipulate it or make them just sort of simps just for her, only thinking of her, because at the very end she's just sort of selfish and shallow. And that is just a perfect representative of sort of the instrument she used to control people. It's just sort of perfect. But other than that, I don't know, do you think they should do more just a microphone or added something new? Now, be fair, she does have her sort of earphones on her, but it's sort of is sort of normal her own design, depends how they want to show her, but yet yeah, that could be an interesting add-on if you're Nor or realize she does have earphones. Even her earphones does represent something that she doesn't need to listen to herself. Sharing herself around everybody's trying to say anything negative, because of everybody is sort of haters against her. Once more, the earphones always was been there, but yet it sort of makes perfect made design for her personality. But I don't know you think you improve it, or you think this is perfect? Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about the final character of this set of 6 keychains, will be Dr. Fluck, and he's probably the second most changed design of the whole group. That Dr. Fluck do 2 specific things. One, he actually playing a theremin. Now, if you don't know what's a theremin, it's sort of like a music device, but with you have to unplug it in the wall because it has a sort of weird energy. It's something that you technically do not touch, but usually you hear this sort of weird sound out of it. Sometimes you hear this sound from sci-fi movies or supernatural movies. That sort of kind of type of sound, but yet it makes sense with Dr. Flood, because of course he would use a theremin, because the type of person who really does all the dirty work, but sometimes he doesn't need to touch it to actually make it work, because it's how dangerous Dr. Flood really is, but at the same time how intelligent, because you have to be a little clever to how to make a theremin actually work. Of course, this is sort of the second time they design him with a different clothes. That would be sort of a normal tuxedo with a bold red tie, but you see sneakers. But yet, that sort of makes sense. He is always proper, but more kind of chillax, not super proper. It's the type of guy who makes sense. He wears sneakers with his suit, not wearing proper shoes for well performed sort of music, in other words. He just sort of makes sense because Dr. Flood is not uptight. But on top of everything else, I just like how they represent him in this keychain. That sort of always thinking, but on the moment type of guy. Because at the very end, that's how he is. He is that sort of kind of Team Rocket sort of loser, would never give up, but also he has multiple plans and wants if anything go wrong. He just sort of fit the personality how they show him on this keychain. Now, that's basically it of all 6 keychains. I just wanted to talk about it and make some villainous content just to wait for the next update, spin-off, or episode drop on YouTube. Just sort of making content from the fans and for me to get entertained to hopefully the new whatever content will coming out. Hopefully you did enjoy this. Tell me your opinion of each design, which you feel they fit right for the character, or you feel they went too far or not far enough. Tell me down below, let me know. I got nothing else to say, just thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.